Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything. Channel us try anything so you don't have to. Today what we're going to take a look at is another watch from the Casio range, with this one being the CASIO W94H, and it has a module number of 1950. Now in this review what we'll do is what we always do with the watches that we have featured on this channel, is talk about the actual materials that make up the watch, mention some of the sizes, go through some of the functions that this watch has. Now as you can see, there is a few marks and stuff like that on the actual watch face, or on the dial window as it were, and the reason being mainly is because this one was purchased from eBay. Now you can buy this off Amazon with a brown strap, because it does come in a few different straps, this watch, where you get the black strap which we've got here, and as you can see it's quite a nice well-worn example. You also get the brown strap, which is what I've mentioned, and also I believe there is actually, I've seen online, a metallic bracelet that you can get, or this watch is obtainable in. So you know, there is a few versions of this watch, but as I say, I mean, the brown strap was the only one I could see on Amazon. This version is a bit it's unavailable, so it can be purchased from the likes of the USA and stuff like that, or eBay. And the only reason why I buy from eBay with some of the watches, I don't show completely brand new examples, is just for the pure fact that I like to show them as how they've been worn, really. So just to give you an idea of how these watches wear. So talking about the actual watch, what you've got here is a plastic cased watch. It's got a plastic silver effect bezel. The sizes of the actual watch is about 36mm in diameter, and the pushes, I believe it goes up to just over 40 to 41mm. Obviously the actual thickness, being a quite a thinnish watch, is 11mm, and as I say, because you've got the plastic bezel, and also you've got a plastic dial window, or like an acrylic crystal dial window, you know, which will attract scratches and stuff like that, so please be aware of that fact. It is also supported by a leatherette type strap with an underpinned by a nylon fabric, and also you do get the metal buckle with it, with the Casio emblazoned on the actual buckle itself, and the actual strap retainer is like a leatherette effect. And on the actual thing you do get, I mean, I know Casio like to shout some of the functions that they have on their watches, with this one being the illuminator, and also it's got an alarm chrono, and also you do have the water resistance, with this case being 50 meters or 5 bar. Now it isn't the biggest of watches, but the thing about this watch is that it does have like a little standout thing that you do notice from the off, and that is in the back of the actual LCD display, where it's got that kind of, it's got a real nice green sheen effect to it, and that's what attracted me to this watch, and to actually get it off eBay was just due to the fact that, you know, you've got that effect which you don't normally get on LCDs. And you know, LCDs you do get like a silvery background to them, but in this aspect it is quite a nice green that you do get when in certain lights, so that's what attracted me to it. You do on the back the usual stainless steel affair from Casio, and also it is powered by a quartz movement. And you know, the battery life in terms of this one, I'm not too sure. I think it's about 2 or 3 years. I'll be conservative in saying that. I have tried to replace the battery in this one, and it's not the easiest thing, so I've kind of left it for now, and I'll probably get an actual jeweler or a watch repairer to replace the battery, because for me it wasn't the easiest, and I didn't want to damage the actual watch. Going on to the actual display of the actual LCD, as well as the nice green sheen you've got of it, you do have a second indicator here, which just adds a bit of interest to the actual watch. You have a function activated indicator going on here, and then what you've got is the actual day, the date, and the time displayed in this window here. So you've got 3 windows that make up the actual main dial of the watch, really, which is really nice, a bit different, but you know, it's the usual. Casio has you know, makes things a little bit more interesting for the actual wearer to look at. Now this watch is actually has, in terms of looking at the actual watch during the hours of darkness and stuff, it has a Electro Luminescence backlit display, and it also features an auto light, which you can, if I keep my finger on that, you will see a little auto illuminescent display there, just showing you that that feature is actually switched on here. If I can show you on the actual close-up as it were. And when you flick the watch towards you, what you'll see is the actual luminescence display. Sorry, the electroluminescence backlit display. It will light, and it's, you know, if you do it at like a 45-degree angle, the actual background will display. And I do show you a little clip here, just showing you the actual how it looks. And you can turn that off again by just keeping your finger on that. And also just by depressing the actual light button on the front, it will highlight the actual background display with that nice like a light blue light that the actual CASIO electroluminescence backlit display has, which is really nice for these watches, and it does work really well in the darkness, so it's a great watch to own. Going on to some of the features of the watch, it does feature a 12 and 24-hour option, which can be accessed via the adjust button here, but I will be doing a video soon about how to operate some of the functions on this watch, because there's quite a few to say the least. It does have a countdown timer, which you can set for a range of between 1 second and 24 hours, with the alarm sounding 10 seconds before it complete. Well, the alarm will sound for 10 seconds when the actual countdown is completed, and as you can see here, it's set for 60. It has got the actual timer 23 hours and 59 minutes, so it can do that from the off, and I can just, and it can be adjusted, so it's easy. It's as easy as that. And also you do get the time just there on that actual part of the actual function, on the actual display window of this function, which is a nice little added bonus, as it were. Now also the countdown does feature, you can set the countdown obviously between 1 second to 24 hours, as I've mentioned, but it also features an auto repeat function, which if you do have it set, the actual auto repeat function will allow, so for example, if you set it for 10 minutes countdown, and then when the countdown's complete, it will reset to 10-minute countdown and carry on counting down again. So it will obviously every 10 minutes it will count down, and or to whatever you set it to. So again, a nice little feature if you are doing things that do require intervals in which you are counting certain amounts of time. And the other thing to talk about as well is that the actual countdown will also beep when it passes, or can also beep when it passes certain time milestones as well. So it'll beep when it's 50 minutes to count down, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute intervals. So you know, you get an idea of when it is getting closer to that actual countdown completing, really, which is really good. So you know, a nice little feature, and you know, a great little countdown timer that you can have on this watch. So I'll just reset that. Now the next one is the stopwatch. Now the stopwatch feature on this does go up to 23 hours and 59 minutes, and it also features a lap time, and it will do split times, as it were, and it will do first and second finishes, and there is instructions listed below about how to operate this watch, but I will be doing a video of this watch very soon on how to use it. And also it will go up to 23 hours and 59 minutes and 59 seconds. And the other added feature of this watch is that it will feature an auto start function, where you can set it. So for example, if you're getting yourself ready for a run, you can activate the auto start function, which it will count down for 5 seconds and then activate the stopwatch, which is, you know, it's a great little feature, as opposed to before you do your run, you do your start. It will make your timing a little bit more accurate, because you can run on when the actual auto start has complete. So you know, a great little feature in this watch. The other feature on this watch is the alarm. Now this alarm will allow for, it does have just 2 functions. The alarm will have a daily alarm, and it also features an hourly alarm, which will beep on the hour every hour. So it's a nice little function, simpler to operate alarm and easy to use basically. So you know, you can set it and fire and forget, and it will activate every day. The final feature on this watch is dual time. Now dual time means it obviously features 2 times, but what you can do, you can set this time below to a different time compared to where you are locally. So obviously this one here is set to 11:24, but if you wanted to set it for New York, and I'm just going to show you this function just to illustrate that you can have a different time zone. So let's set it to something like 5 hours behind, which is what I normally set these watches to, for say New York. So if you're dealing with someone in New York, it can be easily done. Do that and then do that. So what I've done here, I've just set it to what would be New York time, with it being 5 hours behind, and it's easily done. So you've got, if you are flying to say New York, you can have that set on the actual main time, and then you know what time you have locally to you where you've come from. So in my instance, it would be the UK, and you know, it's a nice little feature that Again, if you are dealing with business associates or talking to loved ones in a different part of the world, then you won't call them or contact them at an inappropriate, unsociable hour. So great little feature, and that's it really. I mean, there's a bit more to it than the actual watch, but I just wanted to kind of skirt over what you can do with this watch and just show you some of the features. And as I said, there are instructions below, and there is also a video coming soon and showing you how to operate this watch. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop it on my wrist and say what it's like to wear. Now on the wrist, it's not the biggest of watches. I will be honest with you saying that, because as I've mentioned, it is about 36 to 40 millimeters, including the pushers really. And so, you know, it might not appeal to everyone, but as you can see with that actual background, you know, the green on the background, it really does stand out when it's on the wrist, especially contrasting against my my wrist and my hand. Doing the hand test, you know, it doesn't inhibit your hands or anything like that, the movement of the hand. And also, because you've got that nice nylon and leatherette effect, or leatherette as it were strap, it's comfortable. And also the one thing I've mentioned, it's quite light as well, obviously for its size and stuff like that, and it's around the 26 gram mark, so it's something that you won't feel while you're wearing it daily and stuff like that. But you know, this watch might not appeal to everyone, because as I say, you know, let's compare it to say something like I've reviewed in the past, like the MW240. You can see the size difference in the watches basically. You know, this watch, obviously the dial is, you know, it is pretty big on this watch, but on this watch, I mean, obviously it is a bit of a smaller watch, so you know, not a bad thing really. I mean, if you have a preference for larger watches, then this might not be the watch for you. But if you like a watch that, say, something, it's got a lot of functions, you might want to give it as a first watch to a child, or like a lady might wish to wear it. Or you know, if you are like, you prefer like a smaller watch, or you have a smaller wrist, then this watch is a great option to like look at and own really. And also, if you like a watch that's a little bit diverse really, especially with that LCD background, then again, this is a great watch to add for your collection, and also a superb watch for as a secondary backup. So you know, it gets a thumbs up for me in terms of the way it looks, the way it operates, and especially how comfortable it is to wear. It's such a great watch. So I hope you liked the quick video review. If you did, then click on the like button, always helps the channel. If you want to see more reviews coming from the We Try Anything channel and tutorials and stuff like that, then click on the subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.